I've had Sandy here all night talking about what she does as a healer and as a mentor to people who are interested in developing herself. And without going too much in it, years ago Jannese went for a healing, and Sandy actually asked her, did she want to develop or open up her pineal gland to what was it?
What was it?
Oh, I don't remember. I wasn't sitting on the table.
DNA, so that that was part of clearing out the junk a lot quicker. But at that time, I was actually showing what Jannese was in a past life, and I think I had told you that at the time, that the abilities that you had are now ready to come back into this lifetime, which is why she was with me in the first place. Because I find a lot of people that are now ready to open up, they're the ones that come to me, hence Soul Awaken. That's the type of person I attract on that level,
I get it now.
As opposed to those that are in a really bad place that want some help. And Jannese was one of those ladies, and now she's doing some great work.
And so since then, again, Sandy doesn't know anything. How long now, would you say?
It's been, what, 4 or 5 years?
No, so, no, we're going back now to Andino. How long have you been doing it?
I didn't realise you were doing automatic writing.
Yeah, couple of months, yeah.
So a couple of months now she's been doing automatic writing and progressing. That in the last 2 weeks he's been getting Jannese to go to the mirror and practice trying to see him.
Developing my mind power.
So he goes to the mirror, she meditates, and then...
Well, I'm not quite seeing him at the moment. I've found I am actually seeing like a vision, a hologram. But what he has told me is it's actually my own soul.
Yes, that's right. Everything's about a reflection of ourselves, and I understand where he's coming from. But what we were seeing earlier when I was chatting to you before was that in the work that he does, he's very much into the sacred mathematics and the geometries, because a whole universe is built on mathematics, and that's what quantum physics is all about. And that's what he's here to help you with, because you did have an understanding of that before, but more from a magical sense. And I know that may sound a bit weird, but it was more you're into the magic of it without understanding the mechanics behind it.
Right.
Whereas this lifetime it's about understanding the mechanics behind it. So it's like he's got all these little building blocks, and they're all in different geometric forms, all these lovely mathematical equations on them, and it's like he's building them all up, and each one is like an exercise in itself. And you've got about a dozen to go, but after you've done that there'll be more anyway. But he's I know you said he's a bit of a hard taskmaster, but he actually has a lot of fun doing this work with you. And his whole persona is he hasn't actually revealed himself to you yet, not fully.
No.
It's like he's revealing a little bit of himself
at a time.
And he's doing that in order for you to learn how to unravel a bit of yourself each time. It's like unraveling a piece of string and learning all about different parts of ourselves. He did say also that he just a little bit at a time, because he doesn't want to frighten me either. Because literally, if we sat in front of a mirror and saw our spiritual self, our mind would blow. We wouldn't be able to comprehend it. It's like when you feel that oneness, you only get to feel it for a few seconds at a time, the real depth of it, because our physical bodies aren't ready yet to hold it all. But the more we awaken, the more we elevate, the more we will do. But he's having a lot of fun with you, and it's like you're on an ocean and you're just going along together, and every so often he'll put a little thing in your path and say, I wonder if she's gonna... It's like he's got you on this wave and you're gently floating, feeling safe, and he'll drop something, not to frighten you or thwart you, but just to see how you'll react. Yeah. And so to teach you not to react.
Yes.
And that way, I mean, you could do this a different way by having healing work done, but you're not to do that now. You're to learn it this way. So you, in the way of learning it this way, without you realising it on a conscious level, you're already learning how to be in that vibration of oneness. So you're being elevated up here, all in one go, which is why it gives you a little bit at a time. Whereas if you were working with me, we would still be working this way to get you here. But he said, no, we don't want to do that anymore. She's actually ready to do this, which you are. And so he's going about it a different way. But every time often you'll see like a little thing drop. It's like as if you closed your eyes and imagine you're on the water, you'd start to see like a box or something in the water, like it's dropped off a ship. You think, oh, what's that? I'll have a look at that. So he's presenting all these little puzzles and opportunities for you, but they're for you to recognise as to what they are, but to learn more about yourself. So it's like I'm going along and picking up these bits of myself. That's what those building blocks are. It's all of you. It's not because there's bits of you missing, but it's this universal self that you're picking up and understanding. So he's unlocking you.
Oh, okay.
He does this writing with you for you to learn to trust.
Yes.
And to go, oh, crikey, I can do this.
That's what you said.
And
I
to
have
feel
to
good
believe.
about
You
yourself.
keep saying
Yeah.
to me, you have to believe. You
Yeah,
have to
and there's
believe.
nothing wrong in saying, wow, and I'm bloody clever, I can do this. This is cool. Why not? Enjoy being you. But that's because the human side of us loves this fundamental proof.
We're looking for verification. That's what we're constantly looking for.
And it's
verification.
tangible. I can put my hands
Tangible.
around it, I can feel it, I can read it. It's real. Whereas, you know, we don't really need that proof. But because you do that, then your mind's occupied on it, and so the higher mind can come in and get you already up here, learning other things in parallel that you're not consciously aware of just yet.
Oh, okay.
But every time you get that little drop in the ocean, that's where your conscious mind goes, oh, what was that?
Okay.
And that might be somebody saying something to you, or something comes into your life, like the Tambourine Mountain, thinking, oh, what do I do about that? To teach you not to be afraid and just to trust. And to unfold. But he's very much sacred geometry and the mathematics of life. So he's the quantum physics man, and he's having a lot of fun with it. But you have not seen him yet.
No.
No.
No, that's
No.
right. You know, he has told me that you haven't actually seen me yet,
No,
but you will.
yeah, and if he
You will.
took off the cloak and said, this is who I am, you wouldn't be able to take it in right now. And that's not
No,
to say that you're not
a judgment.
capable.
I'd say.
Absolutely not. It's just that your mind wouldn't comprehend it, and you could shut down.
Yes.
Because it would be overwhelming. So if you could think of something, a really beautiful geometric puzzle, pyramids and shapes, all in there together, all blazing away at the most beautiful electrical colours, all shining and fluorescent at the same time, that's basically who he is. But he's fundamentally got this beautiful orange soul of his right in the centre, so he's all about science.
Science. Yes. Yes. So that's definitely coming through.
And he
science.
says he's a light. Light, isn't that what it?
Because he says, when I ask, you know, is he an angel? Is he a spirit guide? He says no. He's God's light.
That's
He
all
says
it is.
God
That's
lights,
right.
Yeah.
Which is
God's
what we
light.
all love.
He's a golden God's light.
Right.
He's just, yes, he's a picture of one of those pieces in the light. If you looked at it in language or geometric tone, he's one of those things that just float there. And it's hard to put it into words, but if you looked at, if we try to put it into words, he would be a very ancient being that was around at the beginning of time. And holds some of those fundamental secrets and science of
Well,
life.
yes, he says he's
That's
from
what
the
he
stars,
is.
the moon,
He's a
the sun,
particle.
the solar system.
Yeah,
That's
I can
what he
see
says.
it. He's a particle of that.
He says, I'm from the solar system.
And he's stayed there always to impart information to whatever dimension wants to work with him.
That's very exciting.
It is, you see, when science actually starts to see into the light, when you see the dark at night, there's so much in there that's beautiful and bright and shiny. When science could actually put that under a microscope, they would actually see this particle of this being. You know, like the atomic structure in your cellular system? That's what he's like in the universal mind.
Right.
He's not of form at all. He's just pure light, but there is a shape to him.
Yeah, but is the shape to
He's a
satisfy?
pyramid.
He's a pyramid, but is he shaped to satisfy the human mind?
No. He's part of the sacred geometry, the language of life.
Right, I understand.
He's a particle of it, and that particle speaks to us. I know it's like you have feelings and you have emotions, very human. But if you think of the consciousness as just an ocean of vibratory light and waveforms and floating lines of energy, to make all of that up, you have to have these little geometric shapes and mathematical particles. That's what he is.
Wow.
He's intrinsically part of that. So he's of no form, but he does have form.
I understand.
Because you could align each of those shapes to a different value of creator, if you like tolerance, love, acceptance, but it's even beyond that.
Yes.
And he's very pyramidal, but there's lots of swirls inside of that, and this fundamental orange sitting right in the centre. But he's got loads of other different multi-dimensional shapes going on inside.
Okay.
So he's like a particle of light, floats in front of you and just talks to you.
All right.
And you say, what the hell is that? You're of no form. But he's just consciousness. He's a particle in consciousness.
Yeah. So Janice's going to have a little right. We remember this is only
So he's
short.
like an atomic structure in your physical body, but in the universal body. He's a particle of consciousness.
Any good advice?
Enjoy the journey because it's phenomenal. Well, I mean, you've got a method for listening into him each day.
She's just writing something. She writes.
Okay.
So while she's writing something to fill the time, what started was, so she's still doing it at the automatic writing. Before it was slow, then it became quicker, and now she knows what he's saying before she writes, so she's getting better.
Then
Sometimes I do.
Soon
Sometimes
quit
I
the
don't.
writing and just speak it into a recorder.
Well, that's what he's told her.
Yeah.
He said soon you'll be talking.
And then talk it into a program that automatically writes up the pages of a book.
Well, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Get one of those.
Mm.
And then also too, that she's also suggests, you interrupt me when you're ready, that he's going to have another channel called William. He's going to come in and help as well, because at the end of the day...
It's funny that they give themselves these human names, because they don't actually, their names are so impossible to interpret human-wise, but it's nice that they give human
It's going
names.
on and on, but anyway, just
They're
said
meaning
Andino says that Sandy is right, and she is so very good at the mantra of life.
Mantra
Oh,
of life.
cool. I understand.
He never says anything good about me, but anyway, I can live with that.
How's
That's
that?
because you're already perfect. We all are. We all are.
Oh, it's funny, sir.
All right, well, thanks, Ed. So, from your point of view as many years down the track, other than good luck, have you got any suggestions that Jannese can practice? Other than
Yes. At night time, just ask to be taken into his realm, which is no realm, it's all realms, so that you can learn whilst you sleep.
Oh, that's a good
And
idea.
ask for that information to be given to you in such a way that the soul can then bring it to you into your conscious mind understanding.
Okay.
It's almost like, you know, sometimes when E.T. Remember, did you see
yeah,
movie
absolutely, yeah.
You remember he sat and watched TV and he got the whole of the human life all going up on TV. In 2 seconds he understood it.
Yes.
It's that kind of learning. It's
Oh,
all
okay.
there. It's like taking the whole of the universe and putting it into your conscious mind.
Oh, okay.
And it's just asking him to constantly take you into that understanding, so that when you come back into your conscious awareness, your conscious perception of life is not condensing it.
Right.
And I'd be reading up on quantum physics and sacred geometry, just so that that opens up little doorways in you. It doesn't matter if you don't understand it, just before you read the book, just go into theta, ask him to connect with you, connect with the higher mind and the universal mind, and just say, whatever I read, if I don't understand it on the conscious level, I don't care. I want the higher mind to then translate it to me in whatever form I need to understand it.
Okay, that's really good, because I will cut it short, but this is a learning process. We had a very interesting chat with Jennifer Starlight, who you know, last week with Min, and what stuck in my head was that she said that he's not driving Jannese, Jannese is to drive him. She's to ask what she wants and for him to assist her. So, and then that's what she said. And then what did he say to you then, after you've made that clear?
Oh, when I got home and I sat down and asked him what he thought, he said, yes, you are driving the car, so start driving.
That's right.
You are the driver, so start driving. So there you go.
But because he's part of everything that we are,
Yes.
he's driving you at the same time, but not in a way of forcing you against your will, which is what
Yeah, that's what
Jennifer was talking
yeah.
about.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, that's right, exactly. Yes.
And it's good for him to drive you, and you drive him,
Yes.
in the way I'm trying to
Yes.
explain.
I understand.
Like a very different level of that. It's not about forcing your
No.
human will.
No.
It's about you meeting him in that
Yes.
common place, if you like, or
That's
common
right.
understanding or common
Exactly.
denominator within yourself, by inviting him in and asking to be taken into it as well.
Really
Yes.
interesting. That's really interesting, isn't it?
Yes. Very
And
good.
so simple. Thank you, Sandy.
It's not easy to put this spiritual quantum physics actually into human words right now. I'm grappling with that sometimes, but I know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Well, that could be another video.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.